Join Tera and Alyssa as they explore the intersection of business, lifestyle, health, and wellness. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a wellness enthusiast, or someone seeking a meaningful life, this podcast delivers insights and inspiration for living your best life, because true success is about more than just the bottom line. To stay up to date on our latest episodes, be sure to subscribe and like us on our channel and follow us on LinkedIn or Instagram at The Business of Living Well. Hi guys, welcome back to The Business of Living Well. Today we are sitting down with a solo episode. I don't know, are we calling them solos? Are we calling them duos? I don't know. With both of us. You get both of us and no guests today. So we're super excited about that. This season was so much fun. And today we were just out to lunch kind of recapping and talking about the season and how great it was and how many amazing people we got to sit down with and learn their stories and help share their stories. Yeah. But when it came down to talking about our own story, we were definitely nervous to come on here today. Yeah. I think it's harder when it's like, what do we talk about? What kind of story should we share? It's been so fun hearing from everybody else. And I think everyone that we've brought on has had such a good story and has had so many good tidbits. But today we get to turn the tables around to us, which is kind of exciting. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah. And what are you drinking?
Golferitaville.
Yeah, from Junkyard.
Golferitaville from Junkyard. Margarita seltzer. It's actually super good.
It's so good.
It's like not super fizzy, but it's like a little bit of a fizzy margarita. It's good.
I feel like I should be out on a patio right now.
Right? Yeah.
But I think, our biggest thing too that we've been doing and why we kind of wanted to start the podcast is just supporting local and small, big, all the above businesses.
Yeah.
Why did you want to start the podcast? What's the story?
Our story.
Yeah. The number one question.
Yeah,
I think we've been asked
quite often, actually.
Yeah.
And I feel like our story is 3 years ago, I tried to start a real estate podcast by myself. I learned pretty quickly that I was not good at talking into a camera by myself, having a conversation with myself.
Insert a clip of Tera right here.
Hopefully you are right now seeing a clip of my bloopers. I've started this podcast to I am going to give you. What am I? I stumble. I'm like a stumbler. What do I need? Do I need a glass of wine? And I sold it in 2000. That can't be right. I bought it in. No, that's right. Okay. Is this what it is? Is this what I'm going to be? A freaking mess all the time? I can't. Okay. I'm figuring this out. And then it had been on my heart kind of recently coming back in my head. And so I thought to myself, I said, it'd be so fun to start a podcast with Alyssa. Mm-hmm. Then I was walking the track at the gym one day and I texted you. Mm-hmm. And I honestly thought you were going to just respond and be like, are you crazy? Yeah. And you did not. Mm-mm. You were like, yeah, let's do it. Mm-hmm. And within a week, we had already sat down and kind of mapped out what we wanted to do, what we wanted it to be about. Mm-hmm. And here we are. I think one of the things going through my mind when you did ask me was, it was like, what are we going to be talking about? I think that was my one question, because obviously we both do real estate. Yeah. You do residential and I do commercial. And so I was like, well, don't get me wrong, I love real estate, but could I sit on a podcast and talk about it for hours on end? I don't know. But then I think immediately you were like, well, it's just talk to people, or it can be about anything. So we got together a week later and essentially we went full throttle. Yeah, we did. We sat on your couch.
Yep.
And we both had our computers and we just went deep into it.
Mm-hmm. We came up with our name.
Our handy dandy assistant Al was helping us kind of figure out what we wanted to. We just basically threw a bunch of ideas into Al, and we're like, okay, let's come up with a podcast.
Okay, and Al is AI.
Yeah.
We call her Al because
Our handy dandy.
Yeah, AI capitalized looks like Al. I can't even remember who said it, but someone was like, "Who's Al?" And now I just use her all the time.
Call him Al.
Yeah. But yeah, so exciting. I think we work really good together. I kind of like, once I get an idea in my head, I am like, let's just go with it. We'll figure out the details on the way. And you're like, hold on, we need to figure out the details now. And so we like completely work well because it's like a push pull, I think. And I don't let all the details stop us, but you're like, okay, hold on, we need to figure out a couple things.
Okay, I love your idea, but let me just
let's talk about it for at least 2 minutes.
And you're like, no,
let's just go.
Like, okay, hold on.
So it's been so good and it's been so fun, and I think we got so many amazing guests on this season, and I'm so excited to see who we have on in the future. But I think today we should hear everything about ourselves and tell everyone what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's so fun getting to chat with other people, but I think one of our biggest feedback is that people want to hear more from us as well. So that's kind of why we want to do some solo episodes.
Yeah.
And a little bit about me. Currently, I feel like I listened to this one podcast. It's Are You Hardly Working or Working Hard? Right now, I'm in the phase of working hard. I have been working on finding a storefront for Fresh, which you have been helping me with, and we actually found one that we're hoping works out.
Yes, we're so hopeful.
Yes, fingers crossed. Because
what is Fresh?
Fresh is my organic juice company. A couple of years ago, if I could just, maybe I'll insert a picture into this podcast of my hair 3-4 years ago. I don't know if I want to share that, but I had very short hair. It was falling out. My skin was terrible. My gut was off the charts, and I had tried everything. I tried drinking tons of water. I tried changing my food. I tried, you name it, exercise more. I tried sleeping more. I tried it all. I tried tons of vitamins. And then I started making smoothies. I lost too much weight from eating the smoothies, and then I started juicing, and I noticed such a change in my body and my hair and my just like even my energy levels were different. And I wanted to share that with people because I know that I'm definitely not the only one struggling with it. And so that's how Fresh was born. I was so excited to get out of my house and having fruit take over my counter. Not ideal anymore.
And you had customers like showing up at your house, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Like they were just here to pick up an order and then get on their merry way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you.
Me too. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. And then real estate we're in a busy season now. I'm sure it did for you too. So that's just, I'm riding the waves of real estate. I feel like it's always a roller coaster, but it's a roller coaster that I love to be on. So always excited to learn more and go into busy seasons for that. And our podcast, which I feel like has been so fun and such, it doesn't feel like work, which I love. I feel like we're just having fun with it, and we love getting to share people's stories and be more involved in the community. And this is our way that we get to do that. So it's been fun. So what are you up to in life right now? What's Alyssa?
I'm in like, it's getting busy with real estate, which has been so exciting. I started it in August. So this is month 9-ish, which is crazy. It's flown by, but it's been so good. And so I was in healthcare prior. I was a nurse, and it has been such a good change. I don't ever regret that time, but I am like loving my life, and you cannot put a price on flexibility either. And I think like with commercial real estate, it's very transactional and it's very business. So kind of using the podcast as a creative outlet has been so fun. And I mean, it was definitely like when we started this, it was January, I think, when we had the idea and started like having the time. There was like, I kept saying, I was like, I'm working on the podcast and I'm working at real estate. Like I've been doing this on weekends and nights, but it doesn't, like, I love it so much that it doesn't feel like a burden.
It's Saturday right now.
Yeah.
Saturday
Yes.
right now.
It's Saturday and we're filming this and it's like, this is just fun for us. So I'm in a very, I think, good season. Like what did we talk about? We talked about like the planting and the harvesting. I think right now I am in like the planting season and trying to just, like, again, still pretty new into the real estate world, which again has been so great. And I've had so many great people, but I think just I'm like wanting to be busy and I'm wanting to like do all the things, and I'm thriving and loving it right now. So it's been so good. I know, it's been fun. So
when you find that thing that you like, before real estate, I felt stuck in life. And even you, I'm sure, felt stuck, and you were just like ready for something that made you happy again to do every day.
Yeah.
And when you find that, it's so powerful of like, wow, I actually woke up and I want to go to work. Like, I feel like work.
Yeah. And now it's almost kind of sad though, because I'm like, my weeks are flying by because I'm not dreading going anywhere, dreading doing anything. Where now I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, it's already Friday. And I feel like the week just started, but I've had so many fun things on my calendar. So I never, honestly, like a year ago, if you would have told me that I was not doing nursing or completely out of it and doing this, I would probably be so happy though. Like I think it's
what? Really?
Yeah. Like I found something I liked. And I just would have never had the flexibility for this or the time or just even the energy. It was so draining for me. So
it's been working in the ER. That's a lot.
It was emotionally, mentally, physically exhausting, all the above. And yeah, I was only working technically 3 days a week and they were 12-hour shifts, but it would take days to recover from it, and then you jump right back into it. So I know it's been a very good change. And I think, I mean, one of the questions that I've always had about it is, it was like, I felt like I was doing such good work there, right? Like you're literally saving lives and you are doing great work. And now I'm in a different aspect, like a different career, and I'm maybe not impacting lives in the way that I was before, but I was so burnt out and so not enjoying my time. And if you're not filling your own cup, you don't have any room to fill anyone else's. And that's kind of where I was, is like, I was still maybe being a good nurse, but it was draining on the back end, and like my family and
your smile wasn't there.
Exactly.
For real estate.
Right.
When I feel like you impact people's lives in real estate too. Yeah, we impact you, have small businesses. I have like home buyers, and it's such a big purchase. Or even for me, like you're helping me find a space for my first,
which is so
real estate kind of is like your own business.
But
first, like
storefront, like for him, yes,
and it has been an emotional roller coaster because I think in the back of my head, like the biggest thing that I'm probably struggling with is the fear of failure. I listened to a different podcast today that
on the podcast.
I know, podcast. But he was saying, if you don't let yourself even think about the word failure, if you only think about the word win, then your mind literally doesn't cross your mind. And so I'm like, oh yeah, if I don't even focus on the word failure, or like that is a possibility, I'll be so focused on winning and making this successful that there's no way it can fail. Because if you're so focused on just that side of it, there isn't any way it won't fail.
You'll figure it out. You'll make it work.
Yeah.
Especially with dedication. And I think it is scary. Like obviously any small business, starting a business is scary, but we've heard it time and time again. Would you rather do it and, like maybe you do fail eventually, hopefully not, but like, or would you rather look back in 10 years and be like, oh, I wish I would have?
Yeah, I think it's something when people are going to open businesses, I think if it's something that you're going to regret you didn't do in the future, just do it. And if you fail, you learn something from it.
Exactly.
And if you start another business, you can take what you learned from your first failed business into that business.
Exactly. You're always going to get something out of what you're doing. And I don't know, it goes back to the like, does everything happen for a reason? That's such a hard question, but I think that everything that does happen, you learn from, and you can just build from there. And it's like, I will never regret my time in nursing. Like, first of all, just the education piece and just everything that I've learned will hopefully be great.
Yeah. I almost spilled my whole drink in my lap.
That's funny.
Okay, so back to you switched jobs and you felt like you weren't really in a place where you were still changing lives at work in nursing, but you weren't your happiest self doing it. How did you get to that point of taking, because real estate, it's commission based. So like, how did you get to that point of switching?
That's a good question. I think, I mean, it's almost taking a chance on yourself. I think it comes down to and believing that you can do it. I mean, again, there's always going to be that failure in the back of your head of like, oh, you didn't do that. And what are people going to think? And it was like a 180 switch. And even now, and I'm like, yeah, like I used to be a nurse and I'm new to real estate, and people are like, oh my, like it's such a shock to people. And so I think it was really just like, I have to be all in. And when I was meeting with people about switching, my question was like, well, should I still be working at the hospital? Like I was thinking of maybe just going like part-time and going down on hours. But even my like boss now, he's like, I want you to be all in. Like you need to take that chance. You need to just be all in and give it your best. And granted, I mean, it's easier. Like I don't have kids right now. I'm not like, I just need to keep myself alive. Yeah. Like, yes, exactly. So I think that's also very helpful, but it's also scary. I mean, it was a lot of faith and just, if I'm going to do this, I need to put 100% into this right now. And I need to be okay maybe putting some things on the back and let's really focus on this new career and just trust that whatever works out will work out, even though it was terrifying at the time. But now I like, if I could go back a year ago, I'd be like, absolutely don't even stress about it. Don't worry about that. Just do what you want to do.
Yeah. Do what makes you happy.
Absolutely.
Because then I feel like when you are happy and you love what you're doing, you're more likely to succeed at it, or more likely to attract business to yourself because you genuinely love what you do.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was doing a lot of events and I started at the chamber, like just doing some random events a couple of years ago. And that also just kind of projected my career as I was doing it while I was at Sanford and just meeting people. And you almost just, you find people and you like, again, that's half the reason we're doing this podcast is people are so cool. People are so interesting. They're so fun to talk to. And I just wasn't getting that at my other job. And now that we go to events all the time and we have so much fun. Like it just.
We do. It's people, so fun.
Yes.
Everyone is so different. And even if you have like a similar story.
Yes.
The way you look at it and the way you grow from it is so different for everyone. And everyone does have quite different stories too, where it's just like, wow.
No, like I genuinely believe that you can learn something from every single person that you meet. And I think it's so important to listen to people and soak in what they have to say, whether or not you might agree with their beliefs. We were just talking about this. Like, even if they have completely different opinions or completely different beliefs than you, there's something that you can learn from every single person.
Yeah. And I think it's a cool way to also challenge yourself to think different and to see different a different side of the world or different side of like how they think. Yeah, I love that.
I know. It's so fun. Okay, well, what's been a fun win for you in the past? I mean, we're in the second quarter now, 2024, 2025. Oh my gosh, 2025. Yeah.
This year has been honestly a whirlwind. I feel like this year it's really kind of blown me away, honestly. I feel very blessed in kind of what's going on in my life right now. For my first quarter of real estate, I had my best quarter ever.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah, it was very exciting. And the first couple years in real estate, as you know, are so hard. And you feel like you're working and working and working to trying to get your name out there and people to trust you, to use them or to use you, and growing your business. And then this year was probably the year that I finally was like, wow, all of my work finally is paying off, and it just feels very good and very humbling. And I'm very grateful for all of the people who trust me. And then fresh, I feel like, it's just, I finally was like, you know what? Yes,
you did.
Because you have to get to that point of, okay, I'm going to take the leap, and I'm going to trust that God and that
yourself
and myself are going to be able to make this happen. So I feel like that's also been very humbling. I was actually sitting at my computer when I signed those documents the other day, and I started crying because I was just like,
I love that.
This just feels surreal. Like, I've thought about this year or that day or whatever. We haven't even signed the lease yet, but
we're getting there.
We're on the way. But I've thought about that day for 3 years now. And so to finally kind of see it coming to life has been really, it's just, I honestly don't even have words for it. It just like feels, it's
happening.
Yeah.
Ready or not. Here we go.
You're right. I started a podcast. I feel like I already said all this stuff.
No, but it's just so exciting.
It's been a couple wins.
Those are your big wins.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. What's been your biggest win this year?
I think just getting some traction with real estate. I mean, that's kind of been the biggest thing. Is I was terrified, especially with commercial real estate. I mean, it's so different because everyone that you know at some point will probably buy a house, right?
Yeah.
But not everyone's going to buy commercial property. So I think that was kind of terrifying. So I think just finally like getting some leases, getting some sales, just stuff under my belt has just been, it's helped my confidence. It's helped just me learn a lot. I mean, I've had some stuff that hasn't gone through, which obviously isn't great, but again, you learn something from everything. I just got into the chamber leadership program, which I'm super excited about. That just happened a couple of weeks ago, so that starts in the fall. So that was a big one.
Yeah, because I think so fun.
Oh, I'm so excited.
They're going to be amazing.
I'm so excited. I've heard it's just such a good program. So that's one of my newer wins. Had some good travel. I don't know. It's just,
traveling is a win.
It is a win.
Maybe we should talk
so good
more as a win.
I know. Just taking time, and it's been just we've been traveling with good people too. So just family time, and it's been so good. Those are kind of my big wins, but there's also just been so many little wins along the way too. So
I feel like, well, in life we get so caught up sometimes in the big wins that we forget to remember the small wins that we've had daily.
Yes, and we've had so many. Even just with the podcast, like it's been, I feel like weekly we have little wins, and
when the technology isn't working,
yes,
we figure it out. That's a win.
And just new viewers and new people supporting us and reaching out, and like people that have heard stories that they just, I mean, you take something from everything again. So it's been so good.
Even though this year has been a good one for both of us, what would you say has been like a low for you this year, or what has been something that you've had to work through this year?
It's a good question. I think, I mean, one of the things is maybe not being as busy as I could be. Like, again, I have to remind myself I'm only like even like January, I have gotten busier, but like January, it's like, okay, I'm only like 5 months into my career, and I'm like ready to just go all in. Like, again, you know that I'm ready to just dive into anything and everything. And I think this podcast has really helped like fuel some of that motivation.
Yeah.
So I think just being okay with like taking the time that you have to learn and to maybe just educate yourself, whether that's just reading, podcasts, journaling, even just there's so much free like education on YouTube, just documentaries. There's so much education out there. And so I think just being okay being in that season of like the planting season, and growing yourself and making sure that you're nurtured and knowing that harvest season is coming. I think that's been good. Now, obviously, coming up to spring is just always busier for real estate in general. So I think being at this part and like, okay, see, now I've been learning and I've been growing, so now I'm ready to deal with some of the stuff that's coming up.
Yeah.
But I think being okay with this, like the difference in seasons has been really hard.
I definitely agree with you there. Like, real estate is such a roller coaster. And when I say that, I mean it in so many different ways, of like an emotional roller coaster, a transactional roller coaster where maybe you think something's going to close and then the next day, all of a sudden the deal falls apart and you're no longer closing. Or seasons. Winter is usually typically pretty slow. And that is when you kind of dive deeper into like podcasts, books, I don't know, relearning contracts, whatever you're doing. I feel like that's like you do have to do that, especially in your first year or 2 years. There was times where I'd be sitting at home and I'd be like, I literally don't know what to do with myself.
I have nothing to do.
A normal 8 to 5 job, you have to do. Like, and if you don't, someone's probably going to give you something to do. But when you're your own boss, it's like, what do I tell myself to do right now? Maybe work on marketing? I don't know. But you do find that groove after a while of, okay, if I am not busy today, I can work on scheduling some Instagram posts for marketing or doing random things. But it does take a while to get used to that. I think, especially for me right away, I was not good at having a boss. I don't like being told what to do. So when I did finally not have a boss and I was my own boss, there would be days I'd be like, I don't have to do anything today. There's nothing on my list. I'm going to sit here and do nothing. Because I can.
Because you can. And if someone tells you to do something, I'm going to say no.
Or I would make posters and I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to go on a 6-mile walk today with Sammy and just hand out these posters at houses.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but it was fun. And I just wanted to be outside. I think
you're like, let's just go.
No one ever called me off those posters, but I'm going to tell myself they were worth it.
It was absolutely, hey, you got your steps in. And Sammy got some outside time. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But that is true. Like, you have to find your groove of kind of getting into it before you get into busy season. So
absolutely. Have you had any hard moments this year?
I think this year has just kind of been a mental battle for me. I kind of had the similar battle with myself as when I switched to real estate. I think for me, it's harder. I'm kind of a type A. Now, I don't even know what you would call it. I'm a very
detail-oriented.
Very detail-oriented person.
Not perfectionist.
So I like to have everything planned out before I do things or before I make big life decisions.
And I'd say, Tara, nope, we just jump in the deep end.
She's in the water already.
I'm jumping in and she's like,
we're swimming
with her checklist.
But yeah, so I feel like I'm a very detail-oriented person. So even with Fresh and taking that leap, I have so many Excel spreadsheets made up.
But that's also very good. And that's how we balance each other out.
True. Yeah. That is true. But yeah, I think just the mental battle of like taking big leaps and I've had a couple pretty stressful transactions this year, which is bound to happen because it was my busiest first quarter. So obviously there's going to be a couple stressful ones in there. So just going through, trying to navigate the emotional side of it, I think. Yeah.
I think that's just, it's so smart because, I mean, you have to take that chance and you can't be afraid. You can be prepared. I think preparation is key for a lot of things, but getting too caught up in the details and and almost using it as an excuse to not.
Yeah. Which at times I notice myself doing that. And so I think that is, that's a battle that a lot of people struggle with, and probably why a lot of people have that business idea that could be really great don't ever start the business because they're afraid to actually go the mile and follow it through.
Absolutely.
I think you just have to let yourself
just do it.
You have to. You can be afraid, but do it. Do that.
Put yourself out there. And who cares what people think?
Exactly. Which is, I think that's pretty much what we thought with this podcast. We were like, well, we're going to do a solo episode and people will either like it or they're not going to like it. And
we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. Oh, fun. Well, it's been fun.
It has been. It's been
such a good season.
Yes.
But okay, well, we have to wrap up with our signature line. What does living well mean to you?
Living well means to me in this season, finding a balance between everything. I think with being busy with everything, I still want time with my family, Dylan, my zoo at home to remain the same. I don't want to take away from real estate starting fresh. So I think for myself, finding a good balance between everything and like even taking care of myself is probably going to be what living well means to me in this season.
I like that.
What does living well mean to you in this season?
It's such a hard question, which is funny since it's the name of our podcast and you'd think I'd have my answer down. But I think living well means something different in different aspects of my life. Like I have my physical, I have my mental, I have my spiritual side. And so I think physically it's taking care of my body, fueling it, eating good, moving, all the things good. Mentally, and they're all gonna trickle into each other, right? So mentally, I think it's making sure that I'm in a good place. I'm, again, taking care of my body. I'm reading, I'm learning, I'm energizing myself. Spiritually, I think it's my faith and going to church, reading my Bible. And I think they all kind of align at the same. And as long as I'm focusing on that and putting all of those first, I think I'm going to live well in any aspect, and I'm strong enough to handle like any adversity or failure or who knows what's coming my way.
And that's so true. Like a strong foundation is really what helps you show up in other aspects of your life. I for sure remember like when I was going through a not very good mental spot in life, I was not able to show up for anyone in any kind of light. I remember my mom was probably going to be like, yeah, this is true. I would, and still sometimes am not the greatest at answering phone calls, but I would actually purposely not answer their phone calls because I didn't want them to know how bad I was doing. And I think I tried to shut myself off from the world because I just was embarrassed of how low I was, I think. But then I noticed it in my work. I noticed it in my friend groups. I noticed it in, well, obviously myself. But when you do start to take care of yourself, that's really when you show up as your best self in your work, for your friends.
Absolutely.
Or, people around you and yourself.
You have to fuel, again, you have to fill your cup before you can fill anybody else's. And I will stand by that any day. And I think it's so important, like whether it's moms out there, dads, whether it's just your business, like if you're putting all of your energy into something, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, like if you're not figuring yourself out first, something has got to give, and it's going to be either your health, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and it's not gonna,
it doesn't, it starts to end badly. That's where like the really low point come from, is like when you are pouring into everything but yourself, and then you pour into yourself at all. I think that's when people start to hit rock bottom. We show in Bio Girls, when I was volunteering for Bio Girls,
I mean, it's like what you preach, essentially.
Yes, it is. We always get a glass. There's one couple sessions on this actually, and the one session we get a glass of water and we show them, like, if you keep pouring into people, like, look how empty your glass becomes. But yeah,
I think it's so true.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Well,
this was so good.
So fun.
It was fun.
So thank you.
Hopefully you guys liked it.
Yeah.
Let us know. I don't know when season 2 is gonna start back up yet, but we already have a possible list of guests, and they are gonna be so great.
Yeah, we're excited. We haven't asked them yet, but we're hoping they all say yes.
Yes, exactly. So thank you guys again so much for following along and supporting us. It's been so fun.
It has. It's been so fun, and we're really grateful for all of you that have been listening and supporting us. So thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.